got a mama with an issue and she wants some help. So I'm going to read her email to you. I'm going to give her my initial thoughts. If you've got something positive to add in the comments for this mom and some encouragement, some wisdom, please feel free to do that. But let's keep it positive. Okay, here we go. Hi, I have a 22-year-old that lived at home. Absolutely loved having him home. I always want my kids around, makes my heart happy. A few weeks ago, we got into an argument after he hauled some things to the landfill for us. Apparently his truck got dirty, which I didn't think it was all that bad, and I would have paid to have it cleaned. We have always paid for pretty much everything for him, bought lots of equipment for him to start his own business. Backstory. He was mad at us about his truck and griping about it. It escalated to where he threatened to move out. I'd had enough and said, do what you need to do. Well, right then and there, he packed his truck and he left. My heart is broken. I cry almost daily. I miss him so much, and I'm so mad at myself for fighting with him and causing this. We have always been close and had a great relationship. We still talk, and he comes by every so often, but I'm unhappy and sad. I miss him terribly. He got mad because I said he was ungrateful for all the things that we had done for him. Was I wrong in saying that? Any help is appreciated. I have a couple thoughts here, and you may or may not want to hear them, but I'm just going to be brutally honest because that's what I think you want from me. One of the first things I think of is if it wasn't the truck, it would have been something else. I think that your son was probably looking for a reason to move on and move out. And at 22, you know, if he's financially able to do that, it's probably time for him to do that. Second, blaming yourself for the way this ended may or may not be a fair assessment. Without knowing the other side of the story, it's hard to tell. But I do know that when I've had to look at my own parenting and my own stuff, right, and whether or not I was responsible for, say, my son's addiction, I was partly responsible, but I wasn't the only person in the relationship, and I wasn't making his choices for him. So remember that. Okay, you are only responsible for, and can apologize if you feel it's necessary for your part in the relationship. I talk to moms every week who are going through nearing empty nest syndrome or empty nest syndrome, and they've kind of lost who they are and their own focus. And it's very easy to do that in the process of motherhood and or working and life in general. Who am I and what is important to me? Sometimes when we are feeling super sad about ourselves or we're feeling very, down or depressed, one of the best things we can do is do something for someone else. So I would encourage you to look into some, community volunteering or organization, something that calls to your heart to get involved in. Because when we help others, we're actually helping ourselves. My only other thought is perhaps to ask your son if he would be willing to have a talk with you, maybe meet for coffee, and share with him your perspective while also asking him and listening to understand his perspective on the relationship. Apologize where you feel called to if it's needed. Do not expect anything in response to that. And ask how you can rebuild the relationship. Our kids move on, move out, and sometimes while we don't want it to happen, we just need to release them. I hope that was somewhat helpful to you. Please, again, if you want to drop a comment below, if you're a mom who's been in this situation and you've got something positive to add, please do that.